morning. I'm Lacey Shippey on the Rural Radio Network, and it's time to take a look at our midday livestock trade with livestock market analyst Kyle Bumsted. And Kyle, we were down hard to open the day here, but we have come up a little bit. Still down, though. Tell me what you're making a trade today.
Well, that's right, Lacey. Obviously, this is coming off the heels of some screwworm threat or that screwworm they found, but that was last Friday, so I'm not really reading into that. Others are saying that it's because of the JBS workers' vote to authorize the ULT strike. They did in a decisive show of unity and resolve. The union workers at JBS have voted to overwhelmingly authorize an unfair labor practice strike against their employer. So if anybody's got any more information on it, feel free to give me a call. But we did trade limit down here early this morning here right out of the gates. We opened these March feeders at 368.27, quickly took them down to 360.82, and we bounced back. We're at 366 even right now, so we're down about 410 on the day. And on the live cattle side of things here, February cattle, they opened up at 239.55, dropped down to 233.27. We're down 285 right now at 237.67, and that's kind of where the cash bids are starting to trickle in at here. We did see some cash bids there from an Iowa regional at 237, obviously passed. We did see some majors here in Nebraska bidding 375 and 378 on a address basis, obviously passed on those as well too. And then I think that's kind of what's put a little bit of support back into the market. Now, we did see a little bit of commercial sell pressure here developing the spreads, but those spreads have since come off their lows here a little bit. We're about 80 cents off our lows in some of these spreads. That could help us, kind of buoy this thing or keep us from completely cratering here later in the day. On the feeder cattle side of things here, that index is going to be up here today around up 60 cents around 375.16 with the daily average of 379.79 on 9,123 head. I kind of underestimated the cash market here, and I do think that we could see some new records here potentially on these lightweight calves. So
that is livestock market analyst Kyle Bumsted here on the Rural Radio Network.
This is the Blue Jacket Buzz. She chose to pursue something completely unfamiliar for her supervised agricultural experience, and she ended up loving it so much that it followed her to college.
And so I landed on beekeeping, which was kind of a surprise to a lot of people around me.
Libby Macklin is a former member of the Blue Hill FFA chapter and now attends the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
So FFA has just been a really big part of my life and a really big part of my beekeeping.
And now in college, Libby doesn't exactly live the typical college lifestyle.
I was back for a weekend in September harvesting honey. I harvested 9 gallons of honey in 2 days, so it was a lot, but with the help of my family, it's been really manageable.
This is the Blue Jacket Buzz, presented by the Nebraska FFA Foundation and the College of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources, rooted in tradition, driven by innovation, leading Nebraska agriculture.
Welcome back to the Rural Radio Network for a check of your markets. Soybeans continue to rally, up 17 to 19 cents on the day after President Trump's announcement yesterday that he's asked China to consider another 8 million metric tons of soybean purchases for this year. That's in addition to the 12 million tons already purchased and the 25 million metric tons for next year as well. Soybean oil is lower with a drop in crude prices. And corn and wheat futures are both higher with spillover support from beans and solid, though not overly impressive, export reports from last week. And cattle and hogs are down with sharp declines in boxed beef and pork cutout prices yesterday, along with that workers' strike at a JBS plant in Colorado. March corn is up 4 1/4 at 433 3/4. May up 4 1/2 at 441 1/2. March soybeans up 17 1/2 at 1109 3/4. May up 18 3/4 at 1123 1/2. Chicago March wheat up 8 at 534 3/4. May 7 1/4 at 543 1/2. Kansas City March wheat up 6 3/4 at 537. May up 6 1/2 at 549 1/4. March soybean meal is up 8.20 at 304.30. March bean oil down 7 cents at 55.59. February live cattle are down $3.20 at $237.32. April down $4 at $237.80. March feeders down $4.62 at $365.45. April down $5.15 at $362.45. April lean hogs are down 30 cents at $98.15. May down 15 at $101.60. And Class 3 milk for March up 28 cents at $17.26. That's a look at your markets. You're listening to the Rural Radio Network.